Mold remediation refers to the process of removing and cleaning up mold in a home or building. Mold can cause health problems, especially for people with allergies, asthma, or weakened immune systems. It can also cause structural damage to buildings. Mold remediation is important to maintain a healthy and safe living environment and to prevent further damage to the building. What are some common types of mold found in homes? Some of the most common types of mold found in homes include Aspergillus, Cladosporium, Penicillium, Stachybotrys, and Alternaria. These molds can grow on a variety of surfaces, including walls, ceilings, flooring, and insulation. They can also grow in areas with high humidity levels, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and basements. How can mold be detected in a home or building? Mold can often be detected by its musty odor or by visible growth on surfaces. However, not all mold growth is visible, so it is also important to test for mold in areas with high humidity levels or previous water damage. Air quality tests and surface tests can be performed by a professional like damagerestorationnetwork.com professionals to determine the presence and extent of mold growth in a building. What are the symptoms of mold exposure, and how can they be treated? Exposure to mold can cause a variety of symptoms, including respiratory problems, eye irritation, skin irritation, headaches, and fatigue. If someone has symptoms after being in a building with mold, they should see a doctor. Treatment for mold exposure depends on the symptoms and may include medications, immunotherapy, or removal from the source of exposure. How does mold affect the structure of a building and the health of its inhabitants? Mold can cause structural damage to buildings by breaking down organic materials, such as drywall, flooring, and insulation. It can also cause health problems for the inhabitants of the building, especially for people with allergies, asthma, or weakened immune systems. Mold produces allergens, irritants, and potentially toxic substances known as mycotoxins, which can cause a range of health problems. What steps should be taken to prevent mold growth in a home or building? To prevent mold growth in a home or building, it is important to control humidity levels, quickly address any water damage, and fix any leaks. Ventilation, such as using exhaust fans in bathrooms and kitchens, can also help prevent mold growth. Regular cleaning and maintenance of the building can also help to prevent mold growth. How does one properly clean and remove mold from a home or building? Proper cleaning and removal of mold from a home or building requires personal protective equipment and specialized cleaning products. The affected area should be contained to prevent the spread of mold spores, and all contaminated materials should be removed and properly disposed of. The remaining surface should then be cleaned and disinfected. A professional mold remediation company like damagerestorationnetwork.com is necessary for larger and more extensive mold growth. What safety measures should be taken during the mold remediation process? During the mold remediation process, personal protective equipment, such as gloves, masks, and eye protection, should be worn to prevent exposure to mold and mold spores. The affected area should also be contained to prevent the spread of mold to other parts of the building. Proper disposal of contaminated materials is also important to prevent further exposure and contamination. Can mold remediation be done by the homeowner, or should a professional be hired? Small amounts of mold growth, such as on a bathroom tile or shower curtain, can be cleaned by the homeowner. However, for larger or more extensive mold growth, or for mold growth in areas with high levels of exposure, such as HVAC systems, it is recommended to hire a damagerestorationnetwork.com professional mold remediation company. The company has the equipment, experience, and knowledge to safely and effectively remove and remediate mold growth. What are the different methods of mold remediation and which is the most effective? The most effective method of mold remediation depends on the extent and location of the mold growth. Options for mold remediation include the physical removal of contaminated materials, such as drywall or insulation, and cleaning and disinfecting surfaces with specialized products. Some companies may also use encapsulation, which involves sealing contaminated surfaces to prevent the release of mold spores. The best method for a particular case of mold growth will be determined by a damagerestorationnetwork.com professional mold inspector or mold remediation company. What equipment is required for mold remediation and how much does it cost? Equipment required for mold remediation includes personal protective equipment, such as masks and gloves, as well as specialized cleaning products and containment materials. A damagerestorationnetwork.com professional mold remediation company will also have specialized equipment, such as air scrubbers and HEPA vacuums, to effectively remove and contain mold growth. The cost of mold remediation will vary depending on the extent of the growth and the method used for remediation. What should be done to prevent mold from returning after remediation is complete? To prevent mold from returning after remediation is complete, it is important to address the source of moisture that led to mold growth. This may involve fixing leaks, improving ventilation, or controlling humidity levels. Regular cleaning and maintenance of the building can also help to prevent mold growth. How long does the mold remediation process typically take, and what is the typical cost? The length of the mold remediation process will vary depending on the extent of the mold growth and the method used for remediation. A small area of mold growth may only take a few hours to clean and remediate, while a larger area or entire building can take several days or longer. The cost of mold remediation will also vary depending on the extent of the growth and the method used, but can range from several $100s for a small area to several $1,000s for larger or more extensive growth. How can one determine if a mold remediation company is reputable and experienced? When choosing a mold remediation company like damagerestorationnetwork.com, it is important to do research and check for certifications, such as those from organizations such as the Institute of Inspection, Cleaning, and Restoration Certification. It is also a good idea to ask for references and check online reviews to get a sense of the company's reputation and level of experience. What kind of warranty or guarantee is offered for mold remediation services? The type of warranty or guarantee offered for mold remediation services will vary depending on the company. Some companies like damagerestorationnetwork.com offer a guarantee that the mold growth will not return, while others may offer a warranty for a certain length of time after the remediation is complete. It is important to carefully review the terms of any warranty or guarantee offered by a mold remediation company before hiring them for services.